more white man lies.
I did a class a couple of weeks ago about the nations raging and the people imagining vain things. So this kind of falls into the same line of that. Every class I've gone over so far all ties in together. So you can say it's like a series, so to speak, of classes that all tie in together. Like I said last time, IUIC has been under a lot of scrutiny, a lot of ridicule, criticism, not only from the other nations, as I said before, but from our own people, from other Israelites who know that, I'm going to say who know they're Israel. I'm not going to say the truth because that requires you keeping the laws. But Israelites who know that they're Israel and Israelites who are in the world seem to have a lot of commentary regarding us. So one video in particular has been circulating regarding myself and Deacon Lava for a number of months now. And I let it ride for as long as I could let it stand, if I could stand it, because it's going to happen. People are going to take your words and use them against you. If they did it with Christ, they're going to do it with us because we drink from the same cup that he drank from. All right? So let's get Matthew 26 real quick. I'm opening up with that. Matthew 26, verse 59, 61. To show you that it's the same thing. We're reliving the same thing over and over again. And the same spirits are back again, doing the same evil as before that they were doing in their past. Matthew 26, verse 59.
The book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 59. Now, the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Jesus.
They sought false testimonies against Christ. Go ahead.
To put him to death.
To have him destroyed. That's why you see on YouTube, death, the purple rain. Death. So they let you know in their own speech what they want us to do. They want us to die. They want this congregation destroyed, and leadership to be eradicated off the earth. Same spirits back again. Go ahead.
But found none.
They couldn't find any wrong against him because Christ was blameless. He conducted himself in a way where you cannot find fault with him. Go ahead.
Yea, though many false witnesses came.
So they sought out other people, other liars and slanderers to basically ridicule him, to demonize him, okay, to find fault in him. Go ahead.
Yet found they none. At the last came two false witnesses.
So they found a number of liars, but none of the lies that they found could stick on him. This is going to stick. It's the same spirits back again, doing the same evil again. Go ahead. They found none, but finally at the last they found two good liars, simpletons. Go ahead.
And said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and to build it in 3 days.
So they took Christ's word and they twisted it to make it seem like he was speaking something blasphemous. That he would destroy the temple in 3 days, which a man alone is impossible to do. Get John 2:18 real quick. John 2:18. Let's get the actual statement. John 2:18. Let's see where they get that from. They were obviously present when he said this. John 2:18.
The book of John, chapter 2, verse 18. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign showest thou unto us, seeing that thou dost these things? Jesus answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll raise it up. He was not talking about the actual temple. He was talking about himself. Go ahead, continue.
Then said the Jews, 46 years was this temple in building, and wilt thou rear it up in 3 days?
This took 46 years to build. You're going to destroy it in 3 days? Which is impossible. But they ran with it, though. They ran with what he said. Read on.
But he spake of the temple of his body.
He was talking about himself. But the wicked said, we're going to use that later on against him. Took his words and used them against him. So that's a video I did back in 2012. Where I was going over, a rally was taking place. This is before Black Lives Matter started. Black Lives Matter started in 2013. This started early. This is a video that was done early 2012. There was a rally, a stop and frisk rally. You had families like Jatik Reed's family up there, and you had another brother named Ramali Graham. Now, those of you who know Jatik Reed, raise your hand, please. Those of you who know Ramali Graham, raise your hand, please. Sisters, raise your hands if you know who Ramali Graham is. Look how few hands there are. What's ironic is that Ramali Graham was killed the same month and year that Trayvon Martin was killed, but no one knows who he is.
Now, the people on the camera, they didn't see the reaction to
So
your
please
first
turn the
question.
camera around and ask the question again. Turn the camera to the audience, please. Let's see. Let me ask the question one more time. How many of y'all here know who Ramali Graham is? Raise your hand. Very few. Very few know who that is. Ironically, he was killed the same month and year that Trayvon Martin was killed. Now, put your hand, how many of y'all know who Trayvon Martin is? Go up, bring the camera on again. Bring the camera on again. Look at the majority of fans who know who that is.
Right now,
Interesting. What an interesting experiment that's being done. How everyone knows who Trayvon Martin is, but no one knows who Ramali Graham is, who was killed weeks before, the same month, same year.
you mentioned another name, though.
Jatik Reed. No one knows Jatik Reed.
Right,
Who knows who that is?
Get that on the camera.
Jatik Reed. Who knows who Jatik Reed is?
Okay, because that's what I was
One
looking at
hand.
before. One hand. That's
Go
what
to
I
the woman's
wanted them
side.
to see.
The men don't even know. Go to the woman's side. Not a single hand.
Okay, now go.
Now,
That was the point that was missed.
interesting.
before.
Let's go on time to my class as well. I'm going to show y'all tonight. Today's topic is called, there's two segments. It's called the Stop and Frisk Slander. That's the first part of the class. Because our people are a spell is being cast on our people to feel bad for things that the Lord is behind. So we got to go into the Bible and show who's behind the killings going on in our community and what is the cause of it and why. Because apparently Christianity is slowly seeping into Israel, whatever you want to call it, a camp or a gaggle of Negroes. I call it a gaggle of Negroes or boy bands. That's what I call some of them. Who are taking it upon themselves to run with this Black Lives Matter stage show. Play the video, please. Stop and frisk. I'm going to try to calm down. Stop and frisk video. Start at 14 minutes, please. Now, once again, you had a stop and frisk rally going on. You had a family of Jatik Reed that son was beaten by the police. He's fine now. Ramali Graham's family was also there. What was not on camera was that we spoke to Ramali Graham's parents on the side. I believe it was either before camp started or after it ended and the camera was dead. It wasn't set up at the time. And Deacon Laba spoke to Ramali Graham's father and said, listen, the mom walked ahead. He said, listen, the justice that you're seeking, you're not going to get from a system that's not built for you. You got to repent and keep these laws. And the father looked at him and he nodded his head and Laba handed him a flyer and they went about their very way. This very year, that cop was acquitted of the charges. This very year. How many of y'all knew about that? Pan the camera around, please, again. How many of y'all know Ramali Graham's police officer who killed him was acquitted of the charges this year? No one even know. One on the men's side, one on the women's side. Many of y'all don't know that. One of you on both sides of the room knew about that. Everybody else is clueless regarding who Ramali Graham even is. Most don't even know who that is. So we have to ask ourselves, why? Since when does Trayvon Martin become the poster child for black lives having a matter or police violence? When you had Sean Bell before him. You had Oscar Grant before him. John Crawford III was also killed in the store. Maybe everyone forgets him. Abdul Louima. Oh, what's the other guy? Amadou Diallo. Who knows Emmett Till? Who knows who that is? Hands down. Who knows who James Byrd is? Who knows who Fred Hampton is? Y'all heard of him. You know who he is. Fred Hampton from the Panthers. They shot in this house. Police shot holes all in this house. And said, oh, he shot back at us. And all the bullet analysis showed that all the bullets came from outside. No one knows who that is. And I'm pretty sure the Israelites, the gaggle of Negroes who don't know who Ramali Graham is either. They probably forgot who that is. But conveniently, everyone seems to know who Trayvon Martin is. And everyone seems to conveniently know who Mike Brown is. We're going to get down to the bottom of that tonight. The video, go to 14 minutes and start. We're going to watch from 14 minutes to 18:50. This is, Laba comes up because, remember, this is a situation regarding Jatik Reed. If you go to the beginning of the video, don't go to it. Y'all can watch on your own. This is on my Young Lions of Israel page. This page is older than some of these so-called camps that attack us. I don't take them seriously. This video here shows the rally, and you had the reporters and journalists reporting the families that were there. Either Molly Graham's parents came later on or they came earlier. I don't remember which. I'm not sure which. It was like 4 years ago. I don't really remember. But play it.
Shall not be purged from you till you die. Or what the Lord said, surely this iniquity shall not be purged from you till you die. What the Lord said, unless the young man have to be put to death, his sin will not be forgivable. You understand? He was put to death because of what? Because of his wickedness. That looked like bad because a white man took him out. But at the end of the day, we have to go, thus said the Lord. Go ahead, read it from the top. Surely this iniquity shall not be purged from you till you die. Well, Isaiah says, some of y'all, the only way you can be purged from your sin is by just dying. Seek God's face, this Bible. You must seek it. There's nothing else you can do besides seek God's face. Come on.
In their affliction.
And what?
In their affliction.
In our affliction, stop and search. Drive-by shootings, police brutality, drugs, murder, death, heavy, high levels of abortion. Wow. Read again.
And seek my face in their affliction.
And what?
In their affliction.
In your affliction.
They will seek me early.
God said you will seek me early. Not they might, maybe. He said you will seek me early. That's right. You will do it. Or I'm going to kill you. Isaiah 22:14. Get Jeremiah 15:11. Jeremiah chapter 15 verse 11. Here's the switch around. If you're righteous, here's for you. Read. The Lord said, verily it shall be well with the remnant. It shall be well with the remnant who do what? Who keep the commandments and know they are according to the Bible. Know that you're Israel according to the Bible. Come on. Verily, I will cause the enemy to what? I will cause the enemy. The enemy are the nations outside your own and the wicked of your own people. Come on. To entreat thee well. To what? To entreat thee well. Come on. In the time of evil. The Most High will cause your enemy. Come on, man. To treat you well when? In the time of evil. In the time of evil. Your car breaks down. You get lost. You lose your job. He will cause the enemy to treat you well when? In a time of affliction. And what? In a time of evil. And in a time of affliction. That's the flip around right there. That's the flip side. Okay? Let me say something, brother. Read that thing again. I love that thing right there. Go ahead. Jeremiah 15:11. The Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well. He will cause the enemy to entreat us well. Go ahead. In a time of evil. What happened to that young man? That was a time of evil. Yeah, that's not what happened to that young man. Yep. That was his time of evil. Yeah. Evil has entered to the white man to take the black man out. That was his time of evil. But what the Lord do? And I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in a time of evil. But he was not a man of God. So God take him out. You understand? God don't want to take the young man out. You understand? Because he was in his evil. Because he was wicked. I'll just be honest with you. Go ahead. In a time of affliction. Because guess what? If there was one of us who keep this commitment, that white man did this, guess what? Most I would have put in his heart, you better save their life. You ain't going to do nothing to that son. Most I would have do that. Guess what? That happened in the history with Saul. No, with our forefather, which is Jacob and Esau. When Moses put in his heart, don't say nothing to that man. You understand? But what happened to that young man, the white man put to death? Because he was not right. So the white man put him to death. Give me 1 minute 13. I'm going to let you flow, bro.
Pause it for a second. I want to see who's clueless. What is the point that Deacon Lob is making in this video? Because I've seen what these wicked Negroes did with this video, because they know people don't check things out. So I want to see, being that you saw it in context, you know, I like that word. You saw the video in context. What is the point that Deacon Lava was making? Let's see. Where's the brother with the microphone? Hit him. Hit one of these studious brothers who can give me one of these collegiate, astute answers to this.
Hey, shalom. Okay, what Deacon Lava basically is showing and teaching is that because the brother wasn't keeping God's commandments and serving the Lord with all his heart, that he used the Most High he used the white people, the Edomites, to put him to death because he wasn't keeping none of the laws. He wasn't a godly man. So his time, he had the grace period to repent and get it right, and he didn't do so. Therefore, judgment was cast upon him.
How many of y'all agree with him? How many of y'all don't agree with him? How many of y'all do not agree with him? Okay, good. So you saw it in its proper context, because that's what it said. It had nothing to do with that particular incident. The Most High said, you know what? Now it's time for me to punch its ticket. Boom. And he used that situation to get him. That's what he was bringing out. But you would not have known that by watching these Negroes looping the videos and all that. You would not have picked that up.
Matthew 26, this was happening. Did Lava mention any names yet? Did Lava mention a name yet? Okay. Let it go. Let it go.
This is what the Lord said.
Romans 13 verse 1. Let every soul be
Pause
subject
that.
unto
Pause
the
real quick.
higher power.
Pause real quick. Pause it. Lava's going into Romans 13. We're going to address that later on also. Romans 13 is of very much importance tonight because there's a vibration going around to rebel and to cause insurrections and to do all kinds of madness. Sovereign, I'm sovereign. Black Lives Matter. It's all tying in together. And there's something behind it. Go ahead. And Israel's doing the same thing. You know who they are. Go ahead.
Give me Romans 13. Go ahead, brother. This is what the Lord said.
Romans 13 verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Let every man that is living this planet submission unto the highest power. Who's in the higher power right now? The white man is. Because God set him up. That's right.
For there is no power but of God.
But who give him the power? God. Go ahead.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
So the power that is laid down in this earth are ordained of God. God give the white man power. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power,
if you decide to go against the white man power, go ahead.
Resisteth the ordinance of God.
That means you have to resist what God set up. What the white man gonna do?
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
That's what happened to that young man. That's not what happened to that young man. He decided to go against. If that is true what the white man say, he tell him to stop. Why he didn't let him stop? Rebellion. He was rebellion.
That's what they use, that part. And they go, that's Trayvon Martin he's talking about. He was not talking about Trayvon Martin. He was talking about Ramali Graham. When you examine the issue, the cops had said, remember Laba said, if what the white man says is true, why didn't he stop? Because the cops had alleged that when they came across Ramali Graham, they approached him and said, we're the police. And he ran. And they pursued him into his home. That statement was later on retracted because there was surveillance that was shown that he, in fact, was not running. He was walking home. So the media and the cops had to retract their statements. So we first got report that he ran. So Laba said, what the white man says is true. Why did he run? So we went with that part. Later on, it was concluded that he did not run. He was walking. But Laba made it clear, if what the white man says is true, why didn't he stop? Because if a cops approach you and go, listen, with the police, don't move. Are you going to go, and run? No. You have no reason to because you knew nothing. You may complain, what I do, but you're going to stand your behind still if you're smart. You ain't going to sit there and go, no, I'm not standing still and run. No, that's simple. So Laba was talking about Ramali Graham, but the video was edited so well, chopped and screwed so well, it appeared as if Laba was talking about Trayvon Martin, but he wasn't. So now you're seeing the video in its proper context. You can watch the real video. I don't take it down. It's been up for a long time. It's been up for 4 years, this video. It's an old video. Got the old garments on. Laba looked 10 years younger. Joel looks half of Joel right there. Joel's way bigger now. But this is years ago.
Joel wasn't married.
Joel wasn't married.
He looked much better now.
He looked all
He looked mean in the
yeah, he looks better now. But the point is that Laba was referring to Ramali Graham because that was the report that came out that he ran when they approached him, which was a lie. But Laba made it clear, if what the white man says is true, why didn't he stop? Because that was a report that was made originally before they came and said, no, he didn't run. The surveillance showed he walked. But Laba made it clear, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But if he did, why? And if he did run, the Most High judged him and did so-and-so. That's the point. When you watch the beginning of the video, I start blasting wicked Negroes. The video is called Stop and Frisk Wicked Negroes. Not Stop and Frisk all Negroes. It said wicked. But Jakes, who are so righteous, got mad. Why? Because they're criminals too. Because they're wicked as hell too. Or their friends and family they still hang out with are still wicked as hell. So they take offense to that because they're evil as hell. If it was called Stop and Frisk Wicked Homos, you going to get offense to that too?
That was my point. The Deacon Laba said if. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wait a minute. Did he just say if?
Scroll down to 42 minutes. We're going to get to me now. The one they hate the most.
Can I read something real quick?
Yeah.
Go. Give them the scripture. They are wise. You know what? There you go. That's what I need right there. I know you.
I brought that out in the beginning of the video. I brought that scripture.
Oh, okay. Well, you ain't got it up there, do you?
Nah,
Well, we need it now.
Yeah, we got it. We got it again.
You got it?
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22.
We're going to read a Negro at a computer with an editing software when Satan came and sat with them in the room.
For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are Sodom's children.
They are evil as hell.
And they have none understanding.
They have none understanding about truth. The scriptures tell you about lying, a false witness, and a liar. They don't care about that. We've seen all kinds of videos that a lot of these guys are putting out, pure lies. And some guy, you had one guy said, well, if it's a lie, I'll take it down. Stuff like that. The Most High said, you don't supposed to do that at all. But the lie is so, Satan has put so much on him. Said, listen, man, this lie is so good, you got to tell it.
Just leave it.
And if it's wrong, just take it down. Most High going to judge him for that. You think they care about that? These Negroes are just as wicked as Satan himself. Read.
And they have none understanding.
They have none understanding of God's truth. None understanding about God's laws and his commandments. Read.
They are wise to do evil.
So you got to ponder on that. They are a Negro. I want to say something else. A Negro is wise to do evil. You just got to let that marinate. When it comes to doing evil, he will figure out things. He can build a spaceship to get to the moon and back. To buy weed. He could do that.
They are wise to do evil.
I give an example. A Negro failed chemistry, but became a supreme chemist when it came to making crack. Read it again.
For my people is foolish.
For my people is foolish. Go ahead.
They have not known me.
They don't know the ways of the Most High.
They are Sodom's children.
They are evil as hell. Go ahead.
And they have none understanding.
They have none understanding of God's truth. Go ahead.
They are wise to do evil.
They are wise to do evil.
But to do good, they have no knowledge.
But to do good, to do the commandments in its truth, they cannot do it because it is not in them. You could bring them the laws and the scriptures all day long. Yes, my brother, shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshai, all that. Come to the scriptures, they cannot do right by it. I've seen it all the years I've been in this truth where the Negro is hell-bent on being with Satan. Won't come with facts, won't come with truth at all. And will relish and wrap it around them like it's a blanket. They don't want to be rescued from that demon. Go ahead, Deacon.
So pretty much the bum camp did that. That's who's behind it. And then other camps decide to chime in and share it amongst themselves and do the same exact evil. Because they're sadish. Sadish means extremely stupid. That's what it really means. Extremely simple. Or in a drunken state.
Let me tell you how wicked these Negroes are. Some of them may be on watching this now, and all of this, if they just see that we're responding to it, they don't even care about the judgment that they're going to get. Just long as we got IUIC to respond to it. Yeah. It must be getting to them. It must be bothering them. That's how sick these niggas are. I'm telling you straight up, that's how sick they are. Go ahead.
Go to 42 minutes now. We're going to stop at 12 seconds.
Ezra said that you are a foolish woman above all others for mourning over your one dead son when your entire nation's in the ghetto, in poverty, drug-stricken, alcohol. You mourning over one boy, Trayvon Martin. Who the hell cares about Trayvon Martin?
So that part was taken as well. And throwing him back at me. See, he don't care about Trayvon Martin. Now, the camp that did this hates their people with a passion. The camp that did the editing, they can't stand their people. They seek an audience, not believers. It's a big difference. So they took that part and they said, see, the hell with Trayvon Martin. The hell with Trayvon Martin, like DJ Clue. The hell with Trayvon Martin. and kept playing around with it. So we're going to go back to 42 again, and we're going to watch it to 42:20 and hear the entire statement I made. 42. That's what, and understand, there's a reason they stopped it at that and left it alone. I'm going to show you why they stopped it there. Because somebody was saying, damn it, I thought that was mean as hell what you said. That was cruel. But listen to the rest of the statement. There's more. Satan was in the room. 42 again. Go back to the beginning. Go ahead.
Ezra said that you are a foolish woman above all others for mourning over your one dead son when your entire nation's in the ghetto, in poverty, drug-stricken, alcohol. You mourning over one boy, Trayvon Martin. Who the hell cares about Trayvon Martin? About Taekwon yesterday? What about Daquan 5 minutes ago? Laquita 10 seconds ago? What about them?
Who understands what I said in that comment? Who understands what I said? Raise your hand. Who understands what I was saying? Let's see who gets it. Let's see who gets you, brother. Let's see who gets it. What did I mean? Now, notice that part was conveniently cut out. The rest of it.
Shalom. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of stuff going on what they don't put on the media. That's what you're speaking of.
Okay, that's good. Want some more. You got a lot.
Well, you the same point that you made earlier. Basically, you don't care about our people being killed unless it's put up in the media.
Right. Because I asked you earlier.
Boy, you sharp.
I was sharp.
You sharp, bro. You sharp. I like you.
That's why I'm playing it. That's why I'm playing it. Because I asked you earlier, who's Jatik Reed? None of y'all knew who that was. I asked you who Amali Graham was. Few of you raised your hand. He was killed the same month and freaking year before Trayvon Martin was. And none of y'all remember him. Hardly any of y'all remember who that is. That was my point. Why y'all mad about this one boy when you got many others being killed at the same time, before him, after him? 4 years later, you have men you can't even remember. How many of y'all remember Oscar Grant? Very few. That's the movie Fruitvale Station, where Michael B. Jordan played him. It was an independent film. He played Oscar Grant. Now, see how I remember? See? Oscar Grant III was killed in Oakland, California. Gunned down. The cops say he pulled his taser out, but he thought it was a taser. It was a gun. And he shot him. He thought it was a gun. He thought it was a gun, and he shot him. Thought it was his taser and shot him. Whatever. You have to. How many of y'all remember John Crawford III? One hand. Two. That's why I made my point. I made this point 4 years ago. I made this exact same point 4 years ago. And Israel got mad because they're caught in the emotional roller coaster of our people. Give me 2 Ezra 10. That might have been cruel to some of y'all. Let me show you a bit more cruel statements made by righteous men of the Lord. 2 Ezra 10, and I quoted this before I made this statement. 2 Ezra 10, read verse 5. We're going to read to verse 15. That might have been cruel to some of y'all. I don't understand it. I don't care what you say. That was mean. Okay.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 10, verse 5. Then left I the meditations wherein I was.
Now, to bring out the speed, this is Ezra having a vision. A vision he doesn't know he's in. Okay, in this vision, he's basically sitting down studying in this vision. Okay, so he doesn't realize it's a vision until later on. Continue.
Then left I the meditations wherein I was.
Sorry. And in the vision, this woman comes to him, and she tells him that her only son had just died. He died on his wedding night. His only son had just, you read from the beginning, his woman comes to him crying, saying her only son just died moments ago in his wedding chamber. And she came there to fast until she dies. That's what she's saying to Ezra at this point. She came there to fast until she dies. You follow? So a mourning woman, where her only son just died, and she tells him, I'm suicidal, basically. Let's see how Ezra responds in all his righteousness to this woman who just lost her only son, and she's ready to kill herself. Let's see what he says. Verse 5.
Then left I the meditations wherein I was, and spake to her in anger, saying.
Stop. Why would he do that? That's insensitive. He spoke to her in anger. But why would you do that? Woman just lost her only son. He died moments ago, and he answers her in anger? Well, that sounds pretty mean, Ezra. Let's continue.
Verse 6. Thou foolish woman above all other.
Stop. And he goes and calls her stupid. Above all other women. So among all women who are stupid, you're the most stupid, he says to her. You're the dumbest of all the women, he says to her. Why would you do that? Her only son just died. That's so insensitive. That's so evil, Ezra. What you doing? How come no one's taking that part of the scripture and editing that and putting that on the screen? Playing it again and again, rolling it again and again. Read that part again, please.
Thou foolish woman above all other, seest thou not our mourning and what happeneth unto us?
What's he doing? What is he doing at this point? What's he saying to her at this point? Let's see who can get it. Brother, the glasses in the back. Just stand up so you know who I'm talking to.
He's saying the same thing that you were saying, that it's more than just one person, it's the entire nation.
Thank you. He's saying, listen, your one son, really? What about the rest of your people? Remember, during Ezra's time, it was a reconstruction period. Babylon came prior to that and burned Jerusalem to the ground. The temple was destroyed, though it was built at this time. But the houses are burned down, the walls are in rubble. Pretty much, Jerusalem was in ruins, with the exception of the temple. So he looks around, he's like, your son? What the hell that got to do with anything? He dismissed her son. Read it.
So wait a minute. So why they didn't loop this?
That's like this guy.
Why they didn't loop this scripture? The Negroes didn't even read it. Why didn't they loop this?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, read it again.
Thou foolish woman above all other, seest thou not our mourning?
Our mourning.
And what happeneth unto us?
Unto us. It's not about you, sister. Go ahead.
How that Sion, our mother, is full of all heaviness, and much humbled, mourning very sore. And now, seeing we all mourn and are sad, for we all in heaviness.
We're all in heaviness. Go ahead.
For we are all in heaviness. Art thou grieved for one son?
He says it. You worry about your son, your one boy? Look at your people's condition. Look at Jerusalem. Look how it looks. It's burned to the ground. The walls are destroyed. We're damn near being attacked to rebuild it. Remember, during Nehemiah and Ezra's time, they were faced with heavy opposition. He said, the hell with that. We got work to do. Look at your people's condition. Look at your city. Look how they're living. And you worry about one boy? Go ahead.
And now, seeing we all mourn and are sad, for we are all in heaviness. Art thou grieved for one son?
Go ahead.
For ask the earth, and she shall tell thee, that is it which ought to mourn for the fall of so many that grow upon her.
The earth loses more lives than anybody else. He's saying, the hell with your one. What about the earth itself? What about Zion? Go ahead.
For out of her came all at the first, and out of her shall all others come. And behold, they walk almost all into destruction, and a multitude of them is utterly rooted out.
Go ahead.
Who then should make more mourning than she, that have lost so great a multitude, and not thou, which art sorry but for one?
You worry about one. The hell with you. What about the earths? Many. He's dismissing her altogether. Go ahead, watch.
But if thou sayest unto me, my lamentation is not like the earth's, because I have lost the fruit of my womb, which I brought forth with pains and bear with sorrows. But the earth not so, for the multitude present in it according to the course of the earth is gone as it came.
Because the earth doesn't go into labor. So you may say, well, I carried it for 9 months. I was in labor and pain. You may say that. Go ahead.
Then say I unto thee, like as thou hast brought forth with labor, even so the earth also hath given her fruit, namely man, ever since the beginning unto him that made her.
Watch verse 15.
Now therefore keep thy sorrow to thyself.
Stop. I don't want to, shut up. I don't want to hear about your son no more. Keep your sorrow to yourself. That's mean. They should loop that part too. Go ahead.
Now therefore keep thy sorrow to thyself, and bear with a good courage that which hath befallen thee.
Man up and deal with it. That's what he said to her. Go ahead.
For if thou shalt acknowledge the determination of God to be just.
Stop. He says if you acknowledge that God is behind it, go ahead.
Thou shalt both receive thy son in time.
You may get him back. So truth came before sympathy when the prophets were involved. Mm-hmm. Not vice versa. Not an emotional roller coaster. The Lord don't deal with emotional roller coasters. That's effeminate. I'm going to tell you straight. That's what it is. For a man to do that. to behave that way.
Right. So let me ask a question. I'm gonna ask y'all to put on your Negro caps. Y'all still have them under the chair somewhere. Don't tell me y'all gotten rid of them. Y'all still got those Negro caps. Here's my question. Why would a Negro that sat in the room with Satan come up with such a video and do it the way they did it, manipulate it on that? I want to see if y'all are thinking. Hands, hit them, hit them.
Shalom.
Or let me ask the question a different way, because we know why. By what were they trying to do? I'm trying to put it a different way. What were they trying to do?
They was trying to slander the name of the leadership so the rest of the body to actually leave the leadership and try to join into other camps.
That's part of it. That's part of it. I think you picked up on what I'm saying. Give it somebody else.
Hey. No, him right there. Brother, stand up.
That's why I say you gotta sit. You gotta examine a Negro up under a microscope. That's what you gotta do. That's how I do them. I put them on a slide and look at them. People looking at me strange. People looking at me strange that I say this, right? Let me tell you the reason why I say that. Because a Negro was made. When I say a Negro, I'm not talking about the Israelites. I'm not talking about us as quote unquote black people. The Most High did not make Negroes, so you can understand. Most High did not make colored people, moonshine and ham bone and all that garbage. Most High didn't make that. But we've become that. And it's time for us to come out of that. Come on.
Shalom. With all the things that's going on, they're trying to like push away the people that's trying to find the knowledge and seek the knowledge.
You say they're trying to push away the people. That you're getting more there. Right. All right. One more, then I may answer it.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
Basically, what they try to say is to say, see, those guys who try to teach you the law, they don't even care about you.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. When someone sits, when people make a video, like I said, and often, anytime anybody that's doing any edit work, I've even said this during the time when we were dealing with the Peter Moses situation, when that Peter Moses thing popped up, and we had to do a video to explain that what the media was trying to do. They were trying to turn the public against us. They were trying to turn the people against us. That's the same thing that these Negroes are trying to do. Whenever you sit and make a video, those of you that edit video, and if you're serious about what you're doing, you think about the response that you're going to get during your edit. When you're editing, you say, okay, I'll put certain things in it so I could get that kind of reaction. I put certain kinds of music so I get this kind of reaction. There's elements that you'll have in your storyboard, so to speak, on what you pick and choose depending on the audience that you're going to deal with, because you're looking for a particular reaction. Y'all follow me? You women, y'all understand what I'm saying? So when these people, that's why I said that Satan sat down with these Negroes and said, well, put this in there, loop it this way, do it that way, because if you do it that way, most of the people are going to believe you, and they're going to think that IUIC is wicked as hell. And then that's what they did, because they have it in their mind on what to say to get the kind of reaction. Let me give you another example real quick. Just real quick. There's been a big thing about police, right? How do our people in general feel about the police? How do the people in the black community generally feel about the police? Right? Exactly. So if someone was to come up and say anything about police and say that we're for it, automatically it's going to line up support for them, simply because they have an ought with the police, regardless of whatever the facts are. And people know that our people are sensitive to these different areas. Y'all follow what I'm saying? So my point is, they don't care about facts. That's my point. They don't give a damn about the truth of the matter. They don't care about the facts, what was really said or nothing. They will manipulate your emotions in the edit. Y'all follow what I'm saying? You going to elaborate on what I'm saying? Yeah. Please do.
Understand what's that? Remember the earlier scripture we put earlier, Matthew 26, we put it earlier, where it said they sought counsel to have Christ what? to have him killed. When you take that video, when they looped it, it appears as if I'm siding with the murders and killings of our people to force people in the world to lay hands on us. That's what it is. It's a slick way to incite murder and malicious intent against our camp from outside the world, the truth. Because Negroes in the truth, who know they're Israel, they know what I'm saying. And so they chopped it so well. Because remember I said, the hell with Trayvon Martin, then I wanted to say, what about so-and-so yesterday? They said, cut that part out. Because people understand what you're saying if you leave the whole thing in there. Cut that out. Then they chopped through Laba. It made it seem as if Laba was talking about Trayvon Martin when he wasn't. He was talking about Ramali Graham. But they chopped it where it seemed like we were talking about the same person. And we weren't. But that's to incite hatred and violence from outside of Israel, the movement itself, to attack us, to hurt us. That's what it's about. It's a puppeteer move. It's Satan sat down with them bums and did that. That's what he did. Get Matthew 8:21. No, you can end it. Drop that one. Matthew 8, verse 21. Let's get some more righteous things that the prophet said regarding emotional matters. Matthew 8, verse 21 to 22.
Matthew chapter 8, verse 21. And another of his disciples said unto him, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father.
Brothers, before I follow you, Lord, I want to bury my father. Let me go bury him. His father died, obviously, right? Go ahead.
But Jesus said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead.
Wait a minute. That's disrespectful. He told the dude, listen, man, the hell with that. You follow me. Let the dead bury the dead. Let your family who's a dead bury your dead father. Meaning dismiss him. You got work to do. That's what Ezra said to the woman. See the pattern? The thoughts don't change. But I'm surprised no one took the words and lived with that either. Matthew 16, verse 21. That's right. The truth must become before sympathy. That's why Christ said, follow me. That's more important than sympathy for your dead father. Matthew 16, verse 21.
The book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 21. From that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying,
So Peter began to tell Christ off. Go ahead.
Be it far from thee.
That ain't going to happen.
Lord, be it far from thee, Lord. This shall not be unto thee.
This ain't going to happen to you. Go ahead. Let's see what Christ says. No, remember, you're telling your brother, yo, listen, they're going to take me away. They're going to kill me. I'm going to rise in 3 days. Peter goes, nah, man, nah. Anyone going to touch you. I got your back. So that's your brother. You say, yeah, okay, you feel good. That's your brother telling you I got your back. Anything happened to you, anyone going to touch you. Would you be mad about that? Who would be mad if your brother said to you? Who would that upset in this room that was said to you from your brother? Nobody. You be, wow, okay, all praises. You be happy to hear that from a brother or sister. Go ahead.
But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan.
Stop. Christ called the dude the devil. He said, get behind me, Satan. He called Peter the devil. Go ahead.
For thou art an offense unto me.
You pissing me off. Talking stupid. That's what he's saying to him. Go ahead.
For thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men.
You being emotional, Peter. That's what he's saying to Peter. You're being emotional. Now, let's go to... Now, Ramali Graham was killed, from what I read, February 2nd, 2012, and Trayvon was killed February 26th, 2012. Give me the definition of demagogue, please. Demagogue. The first time I heard this word was in Malcolm X movie when the guy said, you're a demagogue. I said, what the hell is that? That's like synagogue. What does that mean? So let me look it up. Go ahead,
I bet you if they was to ask these Negroes that edited this video, when did these two men die, they would not be able to come up with the answer. How many of y'all believe what I just said? If you was the ones that sat in the room with Satan and edit this video, oh, we love black people so much, we love this, we love that. If you was to ask them, when did these two men die, I bet you none of them would have came up with an answer.
You got a lot of Israelites who are acting as politicians, seeking to be the candidate, the top leader over Israel. Like it's a damn presidency or something. Like it's a damn race, like a race, what we call a presidential race. Yeah. You got camps doing the same thing. So let's read about some of them. Demagogue. It says a political leader or Israelite leader who seek support by appealing to popular desires and prejudices rather than by using rational argument. What is a rational argument? The rational argument is the Bible. That's where the ration comes from. That's where the logic and reality comes from. That's why Christ said, you desire things that be of men and not of God. Because that was Christ's rational argument. I must die for the nation. You being simple. You can't stop that from happening. It has to happen. The Lord ordained it to happen from the beginning. But Israel does not read or believe the Bible at all. That's why you have synonyms like rabble-rouser, agitator, political agitator, soapbox orator, firebrand, fomenter, provocateur. A person that provokes you. With that video they put up, they edited and chopped it up to provoke Israel to attack us. Same spirit, demagogues.
Rather than by using rational arguments. You know what a rational argument would have been? To put your statements in the context of what really happened. But they didn't want to do that because they wanted to seek support by appealing to popular desires and prejudices, which is what I was talking about earlier, the feeling that people have towards certain things. Like the black community have this feeling about the police department. So you could just say things about that and it'll automatically you'll get their support without examining facts behind it. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So you have Israel today, rather than providing solutions, they'll go, listen, all you need is our camp to be there. That's the solution. We must be there. So-and-so elder must be there in order to fix the community. That's politics. That's no different from what Hillary says and what Trump says. Rather than provide solutions, they're going, no, the honorable so-and-so must be there to fix the community. Elder so-and-so must be there. It's politics. Demagogues. Got the Yahshua.
And I don't know if you saw the text from Deacon Abiel, but that makes this is like perfect timing to bring that out because they're talking about being there and that's how that'll handle that. But who was at the Trayvon Martin rally giving medicine to the people? Right. IUIC, no other camp. Yep. Who was over there with Mike Brown and Ferguson? IUIC, no other camp. Who went when Ayana's son? That wasn't sensationalized in the media. That's a perfect example.
He was killed the same month, 9 days after Mike Brown was killed.
Who went out there? IUIC, no other camp. Rodney Walker in Tulsa, no other camp. So all they do is exactly what you brought out. That's it. It's not rational because if they meant what they said, they would be at these rallies. Right.
Officer Jan spoke to Trayvon Martin's father briefly. Mike Brown's stepmom, we spoke to Mike Brown's stepmother. We spoke to her. It's on video. We spoke to her. Ramali Graham's parents, we spoke to them. How many remember Akai Gurley? Killed by the Asian cop in the staircase in Brooklyn. I don't remember what I'm talking about. This is recent. But most of y'all don't, is what I'm saying. Akai Gurley, a family friend reached out to us to get numbers to go against Sharpton. We said, we ain't doing that. We ain't going to help you for numbers. We're going to bring you the word of God. But they know of us. You understand? So these gaggle of Negroes who call themselves camps have not done these things. Freddie Gray, Baltimore, we were out there in Baltimore. A lot of them were not there. But they said, being politicians, if we were there, we'd fix everything. You didn't fix a damn thing. You just talking, running your mouth, being a rabble-rouser, a demagogue, playing on the emotions of the people. That's what's happening with these Israelites out here. That's what's going on. No solutions, just bring me over there. I'll fix everything. You ain't going to fix nothing.
Their intention is not about the people at all. It's for vain glory. Right. And I use the term vain glory because it's a glory that is not going to last them. But the people are going to find out that they never were about the people. That's what they're going to find out. The people are going to learn that. They're going to see that these guys that's running around here trying to claim that they care for this one, care for that one, the real acts are going to show up and you're going to really see that they weren't out about the people at all. They were only out for the spotlight. Who gives a damn about the spotlight? The Most High said, feed my sheep. That's what he said to do.
We say it all the time. Our camp is not the only camp the Most High is going to use to bring the 144,000 the third in. The Most High is not going to use one camp to do that, ever. That's an egotistical, maniacal thought to believe that. That your camp is going to gather all 144,000 the third from Iraq, Iran, West Africa, South Africa, Indonesia, China. You're not going to get all of them from over there. That's impossible. That's an impossible task for one camp to do. You can't do it. It's not going to ever happen. But delusions of grandeur will have you believe it. A politician will have you believe it.
They didn't even want to travel outside their own comfort zone to deal with some of the things that you just brought up, Captain. They didn't even want to break their comfort zone to do that. Then when they found out that the people were responding to IUIC because of these things, now all of a sudden they want to get busy. Now all of a sudden they want to go overseas. Now they want to do this. Now they want to do that.
Get 1 Ezra 5:72. Going back to this again. 1 Ezra 5, verse 72. And the key verse is 73.
First Ezra chapter 5, verse 72. But the heathen of the land, lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judea, and holding them straight, hindered their building.
This is what Ezra was telling the woman earlier. He was telling the woman the same thing. This was happening to the people at the time. That's why he blasted the sister earlier in the vision about this same situation right here. Next verse.
And by their secret plots,
the heathen, by their secret plots, the heathen, by their secret plots,
and popular persuasions,
which would be their media today. Go ahead.
And commotion.
Stop. That part we want to deal with. And their commotions. Popular persuasions and popular commotions. Definition of commotion, please. Popular commotions. What is a popular commotion today? Well, let's see what a commotion is first. Means that the heathens set up these popular persuasions and these popular commotions. Two M's, C-O-O-M-M. Yep, right there. What the definition? Commotion, a state of confused and noisy disturbance. Synonyms, disturbance. I want more. Click more, please. I want more of that. Disturbance, uproar, tumult, rumpus, ruckus, brouhaha, whatever that is. Hoopla, that's white people stuff. Hoopla, furor, hue, and cry. Fuss, stir, storm, turmoil, disorder, confusion, chaos, mayhem, havoc, pandemonium, unrest, fracas, riot. Those are what you want to deal with today. Unrest and riot. Because there's a certain man behind a particular movement who's about civil unrest. That's why this particular movement is receiving such high funding behind it. You call Black Lives Matter today. George Soros, who's they call a left-winger, is about chaos and mayhem and profiting off of it. That's why Black Lives Matter is so popular today. You wouldn't know about Trayvon Martin if it weren't for Black Lives Matter. Now, don't get me wrong. You had 3 sisters that came with the idea of Black Lives Matter. And their intentions may have been well. They may have very well of their people. Very well. But the backing they received and the funding they received, their intentions are far different. And their intentions go right back to my last class about the feminist movement. Because all of that ties in together. And the 3 unclean spirits. All of that ties in together too. What you got to do, we do what we have to do. Don't make things harder for the nation. If Esau demonizes one camp, it goes for all of them. It's not just us. Israel thinks as individualites. When they say Israelite, black Hebrew Israelites are a cult, that's not referring to one camp. It's referring to all of us, regardless of what you say about each other.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.